Hello and welcome back to the Ranking Series. I'm your host, NeoDuffin20, where I'll be ranking things for eternity. And today we're going to be ranking all of my camp entries after a long break. And when I mean long break, I mean excruciating years at university, because I'm finishing up my second year now. I am back to do a small little ranking series just to give you guys what you guys have been missing out on. I will be ranking anything that's posted publicly to my YouTube that is an actual camp challenge entry and not part of OTC. Due to the fact that I'm now joining Code Season 6, I think this is a great way to get me back into the spirits of making things like this. So, sit back, relax. I'll be ranking things based off of creativity, humor, animation in general, and just the pacing of it. I've done a lot of things in the past where I'm not happy with, so feel free to tell me your rankings of my own entries. All the things will be linked in the description below. There will be a playlist, and enjoy! A Code Challenge 10 Season 1 was to clean the daycare. I did do the challenge, but I thought I had one more day, and I didn't submit it in time, so I never finished it. Yeah, woohoo. Oofy Challenge 3B or 4A is probably the worst thing I have ever made. The challenge is that our budget's shot and we need money. So what did I do? I copied the Amazing World of Gumball, where they had their budget loss, where I made everything poor quality. And besides the 64 bits, 32 bits. And the rest of the entry is incredibly boring and bad. There's nothing to enjoy about it. Half of the entry is this still image you see on your screen right here. It's not funny. It's not bad funny. It's not even entertaining in the slightest. It's boring. There's nothing to it. The jokes are just garbage for the only jokes that ever existed in this. And if I ever saw this in my own camp entry, I would wonder if someone actually was pulling my leg with a real entry. This is the worst piece of garbage I have ever made on my entire YouTube channel, and I would even say my first ever camp submission for Truck and Battle for the UK Whole, only uploaded onto Scratch, is better than anything this piece of garbage is. Oofy Challenge 1 was to capture a bunch of video game characters, and what do? Not capture any video game characters. I get killed by 2. That's not the challenge at all. It's also not really that funny. A lot of the things are just poorly timed GIFs or not really great backgrounds, bad audio quality, a monotone voice, and really just outdated memes that aged like milk. BDD Challenge 3 was a Mafia challenge that took place on Discord, so there was no entry to be made. So I just made this to kind of explain it. Yeah, I mean, it's not really much of an entry though. The BDT Rejoin Challenge was to make a drawing, so like, I can't really make much of an entry, but you know what? Here's the artwork. Oofy Challenge 2 was to make a meme, and the only issue with this one is, though it has like one solid joke where I smashed into the store, everything besides that is just incredibly boring. I just have a gif for a long time of the guy going, "Lamoil, bombs, you want it? It's yours. Link for only 3 rubies," or something like that. I don't even know anymore, man. Besides that, it kind of just was a whole lot of nada. Pacing was bad, there wasn't any to it. Just very bad. The next 2 entries are just logos for teams. There's really nothing to them, so I figured I'll just put them in order because I like the Lucky Premieres a little better. BDD Challenge 2 was to get the monster out from under the bed, and what did I do immediately with my high ego at the time? Well, I decided to make a very bad reference to tentable hentai. Yeah, that's a... Okay, buddy, that's a weird one to say. And then I have the Cheeto Dust, the worst joke I've ever made in the entirety of my challenges. I guess the Pastor Bob thing was very and then like Quandale Dingle showing up and having a little arc, that was fine, but that's about it. BDD Challenge 5 was another entry that took place on Discord, but I decided to showcase people so they could be documented and so people could remember it. It's not really an entry, but at least it's a little funny. Oofy Challenge 4 was to make an intro, and I just copied Battle for Grandma, then that's really it. I like the song. A Code Challenge 9 was to get the host a bottle of water. Really a lot to do there. Besides the insults at the start, I then make a random, what joke is this? Are you supposed to laugh that it's a rabbit? Ha ha ha, and then I make a piss joke. Oh great. Wow, we're really going here with reused animations. Might as well just throw this down here. It's not great at all. Oofy Challenge 6 was the finest platypus in the Infinite IKEA or SCP-3008. And though the starting was really good, like really funny start, after that I just skipped through anything that could have actually been with the challenge. So yeah, okay, fine then, whatever. BDD Challenge 9, Luck's Not On My Side, was a challenge where I had to do rock, paper, scissors. This also took place on Discord, but this one was at least short, simple, and had my elimination when I got eliminated in BTD before I rejoined. A Code Challenge 6, A Breath of Fresh Air, was to fix the host's AC. For some reason, I first started off by dislocating someone's arm, then I kind of continued continuity a tiny bit, break a mirror by using reused animation, then just kick a garbage bag. It's not amazing, it's at least a step in the right direction, but wow, this is... Master Kid looks really ugly in this, I can't get over that. A Code Challenge 7 Season 1, another Hunger Games, was another Hunger Games challenge where I had to kill every contestant. The only thing was, I just finished that not even a day ago. And I had a bigger list of contestants who were humans and a bunch of things I didn't even know have assets, because no one made assets. I didn't want to draw all those people, so I killed a couple and then made a North Korean joke. Ah, wow, real funny. I just keep yapping, bro. BDD Challenge 1, or Stolen Wallet, was an interesting challenge. Honestly, it was kind of funny, you know? It moved at a good pace, and the whole, hey kid, give me your wallet, and then everything was fine. Also, if anyone can explain to me what 2 pipsqueaks and a nibble means, please explain to me. I have no idea what I said there. It was a fine entry, just very mediocre at the time. I just wish I kind of split things up and filled in a lot of the dead air. TLWIC4, How to Basics Fixes a Truck, is where I had to fix the truck. This was my first and only serious camp I've ever actually participated in that was cancelled after Challenge 1 because like 5 people did the challenge and it was a scratch-only camp. It was okay. It was fine. I'm just not a big fan of serious camp challenges. I like to be jokey, I like to be goofy, and this is just not my style of challenges. BDT Challenge 6, Can I? Was another challenge where it was taking place on Discord. You're supposed to draw another contestant, but I did an animation for it, and I thought, I pregame, and the pregame's good. Then after that, well, you know, I didn't really have anything else to do, so well, that was such a waste of a pregame! Comp4 Debut Sign-Up was a challenge that was just a bunch of mismatched stuff put together that I've already done for past joke debut challenges, put into an actual debut sign-up. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't really much of a challenge, sign-up, and then I just said I couldn't do it because I was busy with school, so yeah. BFD Rejects Challenge 1 for the funny, and the only challenge I ever did, because I quit this camp, was we had an hour to then kill a FNAF animatronics, but then change to Breathe Air, to then make pizza, to then get a place for them to stay. So we had an hour and it changed so much during that time that I just had no idea what to do with the challenge. So I made this. It's really poor quality because, like, what else would I do? It's just very short. It still is a little funny, I guess. It's just, I was kind of restricted here. BDD Challenge 7, Where's Wally, was to make a Halloween costume. And yeah, there's not much I can really do for animation-wise here, so I kind of just did a little joke around the block. I thought I'd make it funny, at least stand out from the crowd. It's still kind of lazy. There's not much I can do with it again, so we'll just put it in mediocre tier down here. Space Camp Challenge 3, Why We Can't Breathe Air in Space and Why We Need It. This is pretty much an educational entry, which is okay and fine. I did my best to make it entertaining, but it's a little tricky to make an educational TED-Ed, well, really that entertaining. Now, if I show this to us classic kids, it'd probably be definitely entertaining to learn how and what air is useful for, but not really great for a camp entry. A Code Season 2 Challenge 4, What's 9 plus 10, an overused joke, was where I had to help the host with his math homework, and that's about as entertaining as it can get because MacLeod can't talk. Their whole character at the time was they couldn't speak, so yeah, there's that whole big issue. There's still some funny-ish jokes in here, but it's just gifs. It's just like gifs you see your Facebook mom send you. A Code Challenge 8, What's Up Hot Stuff, was to make a hot air balloon, but I was very sick during this time, so besides the very first start, it's just very A Code Challenge 9, Try Not to Cry Challenge, was where we had to remember a past contestant who got eliminated. I decided to pick the very first eliminated contestant, and the joke was okay. It's just a little bit more of rambling instead of actually doing stuff. I wish I could have done more for it. I find it a little funny, but just compared to other entries, just meh. A Code Challenge 10 Season 2, Fun in the Darkness, was a challenge where we had to take someone on a play date. And this was a really fun challenge idea that I did really nothing with. I really sped through this, and I don't really know why. Like, I could have done so much more, just settled down for a bit, but I keep teasing this thing about Maneki Neko talking like she's like a completely muted character. Just, oh my god. BDD Challenge 7, I'd Say Old Chap, is where we had to go and entertain Wii Remote's grandfather, and you know what? It wasn't a bad challenge, this one. This one was actually kind of funny. I liked the little Undertale fall, I liked the beginning. It's just, at the very end, just needs to be trimmed down. I yap too much to explain things. Show, not say. BDT, the final challenge, is the final challenge where I had to kill the other contestant. And it's fine entry, you know, it's made it halfway up this list. It has some really great callbacks, some decent pacing. The challenge makes sense. I like the little ending of it, but it just has a lot of lag issues. That's mainly at fault due to Scratch, but I could have still took some time to fix that, and that's why I majorly fault with this challenge, because there's a whole segment that could have been sped up, but I just had a lot of bugs and issues. BDT Challenge 4, a dish that brings a tear to your eye, is a cooking challenge, and the only thing I have with this is that it has a lot of up and downs. The start seems okay, then it gets really boring, and then it seems good again after I hit the microwave, then it gets really boring, and then it comes back and it's really boring. Like, come on, man, stop playing with my emotions like that. A Code Challenge 14, the America's Got Talent sad story, is where you had to explain why you deserve to be in the final 3. And though this one isn't bad, it's a good reflection on things, it's really just that, a reflection on past events. I would say this is probably one of the better challenges too, but it's just a reflection, so I wouldn't say it took much effort for me to do this. A Code Season 2 Challenge 7 Housing Crisis is where I had to make a house for Jerk because his dad was coming over. And this one's actually pretty funny. You know, it has some decent jokes, a good segment of failure, and also kind of works in a Master Cube entry. The thing is, this is Season 2. This is supposed to be Maneki Neko. I did this because I wanted to make sure I didn't lose the game because the person I was going up against and I wanted to make sure got out didn't get out last challenge. So I managed to wiggle Master Cube in here saying that Maneki Neko was traumatized because they had to kill a bunch of people last time and she turned into a sleeper agent. If it just had Maneki Neko in it and followed this type of principle, it would have been honestly a really good camp entry. A Code Season 2 Challenge 3 was to protect the host by making this a defense mechanism, so inspired by Home Alone and why it's called It's Not Christmas, it's because I made a Home Alone house to defend him. And this was a funny entry, just doesn't really have much of Maneki Neko, though it does fix a continuity that I use the actual proper host now, instead of this made up baloney. BDD Challenge 14, A Blast in the Past, was us going back in time or making the time machine. So after Master Cube did that, he had a little bit of fun, made a cool little continuity thing. I yapped at the end, which kind of ruined a bit of it. But also I made a Greenstein edition so you can send Master Cube back to any time you want to, instead of sending him back to Food Battles, the original one, where Ian gets his what the fuck. I also managed to connect this to my old truck sign-up. I guess that's just canon in the Master Cube universe now. We could have retconned that, you know, right? BDT Reboot Sign-Up Challenge I Needed was a challenge where I had to get the host some food. The start and the end are pretty fine, but in the middle you can really hear that I was not at my usual station of recording. I was out for Christmas with my family, so yeah, it kind of went a little wonky at the end there. BDD Challenge 7, Fortnite Battle Pass, was the Hunger Games challenge I had to do before the Occult Hunger Games challenge. And this is actually a pretty fun entry. Compared to all the other entries I did up to this point, I killed every contestant in a unique way, it flowed with the story and lore of the season so far, and it worked really well. It was actually kind of fun to listen to and look back at too without wanting to tear my eyes out and never want to see it again. This is one of the ones I can actually be kind of happy about, and I still love my annoying orange joke I included into it, and the featuring of Nokia Phone, an early friend I made at the time when I was going through challenge entries. Space Camp Stand-Up Challenge was to bring something cool to the host from space, so I brought them a black hole. This is the first time Honey Vanilla was ever featured, and the voice acting wasn't actually too bad, though I've improved on her voice over time. A Code Debut Challenge, a Cookie Clicker, was one of my first actual true entries, I say. It was one of the first entries I actually put a lot of effort into mimicking the truck style I was seeing and fell in love with to actually get me inspired by camps, and it's pretty well made. The only issue is there's not really much to Master Cube. You don't really get to know Master Cube, you just see him do the challenge kind of whimsically and funny. I wish there was a little more to Master Cube himself. A Code Challenge 12, I Just Pulled a Chris, is where you had to escape prison with the host, and this challenge was actually pretty funny. The pacing works well, the story works pretty well, the jokes are pretty funny with all the EDP jokes I made, and honestly, not a bad entry whatsoever. The timing was good, and there was even music involved with it. Also, this is the only time I've actually used the host in the entirety of Season 1 and still didn't recognize it. Can't believe it. A Code Challenge 8, Season 2, I Have Two Sides, is where you had to make a toy for the host. And honestly, I love the perspective I did here. Maneki Neko is doing her own thing, Master Cube is still trying to get involved after getting a taste for the competition again, and of course he uses child slavery. It's kind of funny, him sitting on the toilet and he hears bum 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 bum. Father, is that you? A Code Challenge 9 Season 2, What People Will Do for Fame, had you needing to be famous. So Maneki Neko goes into a Comic-Con, has a bunch of Discord moderators approach her, and yeah, she was successful in the end, but I don't think anyone wants to deal with that stuff.
Space Camp Challenge 2, Bacon Soda Volcano, had me making a rocket ship. It could have been easy and I just left it at a drawn and put it on Discord, but instead I decided to actually animate it and put it on here. I like showing Honey Vanilla's idiocy. I also love how the jokes are flowed here. The story works pretty well. I wish I could cut out some dead air, but other than that, it's a really good entry.
BDD Challenge 8, oh yeah, so put together. It was a pretty fun entry, honestly. I like looking back on the little editing sequence, how the story kind of plays out, and just everything in general flows pretty well. It has some great jokes in it, and besides being a little dark and edgy and again drawn out with me yapping a bunch, I wish we just kind of got more right into the action. It's really great. Really good stuff, man. Hey guys, it's Morgs here. BFG2 Camp sign-up challenge entry, Who Let This Man Cook? We had to make the perfect burger for the host. And while making this perfect burger, the story didn't really make any sense. I didn't really have anything I was going off of. It's kind of jumping all over the place. And I do wish, even though it goes pretty fast-paced, there's a lot of just random, drawn-out things, kind of cut down, doesn't really add into anything. I wish I just showed Master Chief doing more of getting the ingredients and making the burger. I didn't really bring anything new to the table or anything that was special to it. And also, even though this is more my type of style for camp entries, it was kind of meh. A lot of reused animations too.
Space Camp Challenge 4, the final challenges, it all leads up to this, where I had to defeat Narrator, or a little f***ing god. Thanks, Ares. Anyway, after Ares decided to ignore this person so much, we had to go defeat them. And though this challenge is pretty well paced and has some pretty good jokes, some of the things are also really poor timed, like Shattersound.mp4, really? That was not needed. And also, let's cut down the talking. A lot less talking, more showing. Come on, guys.
Typho's Tactical Tournament mock sign-up The Breadwinner was a sign-up I did as a mock sign-up, or an advertising sign-up, so people would see this and say, oh hey, that looks pretty fun, let me see if I can get in, because I know Master Cube's there, or this thing looks pretty fun. And I enjoy it a lot. You know, it's one of my more traditional types of sign-up camp entries I do. I do a great amount of talking during this. It's pretty funny. I think the jokes are a little wonky because I kind of rushed through it a bit still. I wasn't putting as much passion into it as I thought I would be. But I still had a lot of fun with this one, especially the review section. And also the jokes at the end. I got a pepperoni on out of here. Boo, get out of here, suck. A Code Season 2 Challenge 6, She Made Me Do This, was a challenge where I had to kill everyone as Maneki Neko. So I turned her into a sleeper agent. That makes perfect sense. Everyone dies in a unique way, and I have to say, it's pretty good. A little clunky at the start, but other than that, you know, we fixed it up at the very end. Honestly, a pretty fair entry, and I really loved it. I loved the callback with duck emoji, and just love this entry overall. I love those kill everyone challenges when there's a unique depth to everyone. Candy Shop Sign Up Challenge was a challenge where I first brought in Inksplat, one of my characters I've now grown to love for being a chaotic little gremlin. I love those little guys. Inksplat was a fun character to use, and I love the little montage they had with little bub 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 bub. Just a little Dave song. It was actually really fun to make, and I love looking back on it to this day. I just, you know, it's a camp sign-up entry. There's nothing much to it, I would say, beats the other entries on this list. And because I have to explain, you know, their gender, where they came from, blah, 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 it's a little boring. A Code Season 2 Challenge 5 Why the Long Face, we had to get rid of a face monster, and honestly this is a really funny entry. I like this one a lot. Some small gripes like just using GIFs for some of the jokes, or focusing a little more on Master Cube than I wish I would, but it kind of ties everything together so it works, and that bottom jeans part could have been sped up a little more instead of going on for as long as it did. I still really like this entry. This is one of my personal favorites of A Code Season 2, but we still are not done yet. A Code Season 1 Challenge 11, Gordon Ramsay supports this message. We had to open up a restaurant with our characters. Now this allows a lot to do. Like, we get a lot to do with this one. Yes, I can agree that some of the backgrounds may not be that detailed, and honestly, there's still some jokes that go on for a little too long, but the whole, oh my god, I don't care, or we wrote on it with permanent marker, so that's how you know it's diet. We're pretty funny. I love the animation inclusion into this one. It was paced well, and the music was a great addition. I love the little Karen joke at the end. This is probably my funniest part and my favorite part of this season when it comes to my challenge entries. One of my personal favorites until A Code Season 2 Challenge 2, oh shoot my bad, was to get the host some cereal, which doesn't seem like you can do much with the challenge until I somehow made one of my personal favorite entries. Maneki Neko is shown to be, well, Maneki Neko. Master Q gets a callback, that's always good. Even the host that was from Martwall is back. Like, we're in Martwall, the Martiest of Walls! During this challenge, I also love how it's paced very effectively. Like, every scene feels like I'm in the building, and I'm not just jumping from thing to thing. It feels like I'm actually transitioning from scene to scene. It's, like, just, wow, amazing. The jokes are pretty funny, too, and I love how everything is just played out. It's really a great, amazing entry that I have no fault with, except for maybe just a tiny bit of dead air if I really wanted to be nitpicky. BFG Season 2 0.5 sign-up challenge The Perfect Burger was to make another perfect burger. I didn't really like my first entry, so I remade it, and this one's actually a pretty recent entry I've made too. I've really improved on my animation styles, especially looking over every past entry I've submitted so far, and I have to say, this one is really funny. I will say the jokes can be slightly overkill, but they're also really good. The whole perfect burger being referenced, or the whole
Runner, she's a track star. She's gonna run away when it gets far.
or even Matt Pack come in with the hello internet. Funny stuff. There's never a moment where I feel like I'm gonna get bored or lose interest, because there's always something going on, especially when they actually decided to use music this time. This is a great entry, doesn't overstay its welcome, and honestly would get a 10 out of 10 if I just got rid of some small jokes. I do agree, like I did not need the Avenue and joke, bro. That was so unnecessary. Whoa, I'm back from the dead. Oh my god, I never thought I'd return. Yeah, university's finally over. That's 2 years of university down the drain. We still got 3 more to go, but hey, you guys have stayed with me this long. I plan to start uploading some more FNF stuff, though I do plan on experimenting with other ranking videos, and even some criticism videos. I hope you guys enjoy that. I've always been a very good and logical person, so I hope my side is very unique to this whole takes. I'm happy you guys have been able to support me this long, and I'm sorry for the late production, but I'm back, yo! We're so back, chat, yeah!